huge. So that was kind of my goal, was just to feel out the pace the first couple miles, get up that first mile, settle into a rhythm, and just kind of see how I felt. And I felt good. I mean, I felt really strong. I felt really relaxed. I felt natural out there. So I was able to just tuck right into the back of that group and go for a ride.
Were you with them the whole time?
I was with them about until mile 20 or so.
Okay.
And then the wheels started to come off, especially when Mary made that extraordinary move. I didn't have that geared. So at that point, it was really just a fight into the finish.
Did you hold your splits the rest of the way, or did you kind of...
I think from what I'm being told, I fell off like the last 3 miles. I think it was everything I had to run like 6-minute pace. Oh my god, it never felt so hard. But I wasn't really getting splits out there. Like, I didn't start my watch or anything, so I don't really know.
You didn't?
No.
Why not?
Lee and I talked, and New York's a tough course. It's not necessarily a time course. So, again, he was like, I want you to be competitive in the race. I want you to go out there and just race the race, key off how you feel, and not be concerned with splits, and, get your head, around a certain time. Then if you're not hitting it, you're panicking, like, just go out there, don't start the watch, and just race the women in the field. So that's what I did.
Almost all the women didn't put watches.
Oh, really? All the men were...
The women wasn't put watches at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and Sally Kipiego almost went down 3 times because she hit the table leg.
Oh,
and then she ran into a motorcycle on her.
Really?
Well, yeah, that motorcycle was like right there the whole time. Especially at like the drink stations. He was like right there. Like, I felt like I was gonna hit him at one point.
Wait, so people were running into the motorcycle?
I mean, I didn't. I don't know if she came close, but yeah, they were like right on the side. So when we came, really far right to get our drinks every 5K, he was like right there. And like, I think I almost hit him with my bottle once when I was like discarding it. So then after that, I was like looking. I was like, I don't need to cause like an accident. It's like the last thing I need.
Did you have any problems with fueling or anything? Or
I didn't. I missed my bottle at 25K. I grabbed it and then like dropped it. But other than that, I got all my bottles, so I had no problem.
Yeah, maybe that's why the wheels came off a little
Yeah,
bit.
It could have been. I grabbed Gatorade at the mile,
Sally dropped her bottle and leaned down and picked it up.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd she wind up?
Not in the top.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, Sally and I were actually, so we kind of fell off together, and then we were working together, and then at like mile 22, she kind of like faded back, and then
And you picked a couple people off in the class.
Yeah, well, it was, having someone like that behind you, you're fighting the whole way, because like I was like, if anyone's gonna come back from the dead, it's Sally. Like, she's gonna give you a run for your money. So it was definitely good motivation knowing she was back there chasing me.
You were actually in the lead for a little bit. You
Yeah,
just want to see what it felt like?
I did, and it felt really good. Sadly, it was at mile 13, so it was a little early, but I just felt so good, and things were going so well, and you're halfway, and you're like, you still have that momentum. But yeah, after like a minute or so, like reality hit, and I was like, and pull back. Like, you don't need to be leading these women right now.
Did you hear people calling your name?
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. Like, people
and they were
told
saying
me.
Laura. They weren't saying whatever.
Yeah, I mean, people told me, New York, the energy that's out there, and it's so true. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, I think that's, half the reason I felt so good for as long as I did, whereas you're just really drawing on that. The people were amazing.
I heard
so,
your name more.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. So, yeah.
Talk a little bit about the decision not to do the marathon trials. I mean, I know that was the idea coming in, but if you'd run 2:25, would you have done it? Your debut was pretty good. I mean, very good.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely take it. I mean, Lee and I said, I'm not a marathoner yet. This was to get my feet wet at the distance. But by no means was it something I'm going to continue doing, at least for 2016. I have unfinished business on the track, and I definitely want to go back to that while I can. I think maybe down the road 2020, this might be the opportunity for me, but not yet. I'm not ready to step up.
What have been your longest road race prior to this?
Half marathon.
What surprised you most about the length of the marathon?
I mean, people tell you and they prepare you, like, it's tough. I mean, you're going to go through emotional highs and lows, and a ton of things in between, just to kind of keep yourself in it, especially when the wheels come off or you really hit that fatigue. It makes you respect it. It's definitely a challenging distance, especially on this course. So I mean, I got exactly what I wanted from it as far as physically and psychologically going into the track. I think this is going to make me that much better.
You look pretty good physically until you came down the steps there.
Yeah, I know. I'm walking a little bit better. It's just, as soon as you stop, it just hits you. And,
Everything turns to concrete.
you're suddenly, you don't know how to walk anymore. It's like, what?
What is the next event that you'll run in?
I may do club cross country in December to kind of see how the legs are feeling, just to kind of get the rust flushed out and kind of get going into January so we can really build up for the track. But that would be it. Other than that, I'll keep it pretty quiet through December.
Talk a little about your progress the last year or so. You've come a long way.
Yeah, definitely. Just year after year, I've just been able to slowly progress, slowly take my times down, on the track, on the roads, become more and more competitive in each race that I do. So it's definitely I'm moving in the right direction. I think baby steps are good. You don't want to shoot up and then plateau. So I definitely feel like Lee and I have mastered that slow progression to get me at least through 2016.
Was there anything in this race that you were particularly worried about that either went how you wanted or?
I was really nervous about the fueling. I mean, I've never done that in a race.
Can you tell me? I feel like that. Can you tell me a little bit how you strategized for that, and how?
Yeah, Lee and I practiced. The first time I actually was doing a workout with the bottles, I almost missed it. Then I got it, and I choked on it, and it was going everywhere. And there's an art to it for sure. So I was definitely a little anxious about that. But the way they set the tables up, the way they space them out, I mean, they take care of everything for you here. So it was actually no problem at all. So that was my biggest stress, really, was what if I miss all my bottles, or don't get them down, or, because that's huge in the marathon, is your fueling. So, but luckily it went pretty smoothly.
Okay, so you got everything. So you did some practice with your coach? Lee?
Yeah, Lee and I practiced a couple times in workouts and long runs just to really get that down and get it to be more relaxed and almost just second nature. So.
Okay.
How many are there?
There was 7. Yep. Every 5K.
There's only 7?
Yeah, every 5K, starting at 5K, and then your last bottle was at 36K.
And why did you run New York? Just out of interest?
It's the New York City Marathon. It's a tough course to debut on, but it's been an unbelievable weekend for me. It's just so cool to be here. Finishing in Central Park, like I said, in there was surreal. It's just one of the great marathons in the world, and to be able to come and debut here and get that opportunity, there's no way I was going to say no to that.
Oh, okay. So they invited you and you saw it.
Yeah, I mean, it was, they kind of put the feelers out. Again, it's a quiet year for Americans with the Olympic trials coming up. So it did present a good opportunity for me, who's not looking to do the trials, to kind of come out here and get my feet wet with it and represent the U.S. women. So it was definitely fun. Alana and I had fun with that this weekend.
Was it your idea, or did they approach you?
Lee had kind of planted the seed back in March or April, just as something to think about for the fall if we decided to go a completely different route, just to get momentum, get strength going again, get that really deep foundation going into the track season next year. Of course, I was like, no way, I'm not doing a marathon. That was something we had talked about doing maybe after 2016, it's too soon. But the more I thought about it, and the more I talked with the folks here, I was like, you know what, this is a great opportunity, and if I can do this, I think I can do just about anything. So,
what's your goal in the trials? In the track trials?
5,000 or 10,000. I want to run both this spring and kind of see which one is gonna be my stronger point, but one of the two for sure.
Okay, got it.
So after USA's this year, is that when you started marathon training? When did you start?
I started the first week of August, roughly. I did a 12-week block for it, so it was end of July, early August is when we really started to hone in on marathon prep.
So what did you do after USA's? Did you do any races at all?
Yeah, so I did U.S. Cross, and then I did the U.S. 15K down in Jacksonville, and then I raced World Cross Country in China in March, and then I got my injury after that trip.
What was your injury?
I had a stress reaction in my foot.
Stress reaction?
Yeah.
When was that?
It was end of March, early April.
This year?
Yeah, right when I got back from China. I had my foot flared up, and that's what it ended up being. So yeah, I didn't race until Beach to Beacon actually. After that, that was my first race back at the 1st of August.
So what's your best finish at a USA track?
Like at the US track, God, not. I think I've missed. Yeah, I didn't. My last USA's I think were like 2013. And I think I was dead last in 5K, so not very good to answer your question. Definitely need to improve on that, so hopefully this year is the year to do it.
That's definitely the year.
Yeah, definitely the year, yeah, so hopefully all the pieces fall into place when they need to.
You did a 12-week build-up, and you've got more than 12 weeks from the LA Marathon Trials to the track.
Yeah.
You think if you hadn't had the injury stuff, you would try it, or?
No, I mean, this definitely kicked my butt. I'm gonna need some recovery time, and it's just a really quick turnaround. And I think we do start to risk injury if we do that, which is part of the reason that was never in the works, never the plan to jump into the marathon trials. There's plenty of talented USA women that will lead the team for sure. So again, I just want to rest, give myself time to shut it down. Take the rest of the year pretty quiet, and then come back in January and just gear up for the track. So that was always the plan, regardless of how this went. Even if I won, that was still going to be the plan.
Even if she won,
Yeah. So I will not be starting there. I will not be on the start line in LA.
She wouldn't be resting November, December. She'd be doing appearances.
Yeah, I'll leave that to Mary. She's got it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice to come to race. Everyone pays attention, right?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it was like I said, it was a surreal weekend. It was very cool to get a glimpse into, the behind the scenes of the major marathons and just what that's like to be a featured athlete. It was an unbelievable experience, and it was. I hope to get it again. I would feel very honored to have had it.
Was there anything about it that was particularly special that surprised you? Or
Just
exciting?
everything. They just take such great care of you, and yeah, they make you feel extremely important and special, and they're there to do whatever you need them to do, regardless.
Was there anything like particularly cool about like the elite tent, or I don't know, the night before, like technical meeting?
It's just been fun hanging out with those women. I mean,
okay.
you're hanging out with like Olympic champions, like silver medalists, winners of London, Boston, and New York. I mean, you're hanging out with the cream of the crop. So it's pretty darn cool to just kind of be in the presence of those women.
Was there anyone you were particularly excited to meet?
Well, let's see. I got to meet Spike Lee. That was really cool. Paul Tergat. I got to meet him.
Did you talk to Spike Lee?
Right? Paula Radcliffe.
Right,
that was actually really cool meeting Paula.
What did you say to her?
She's just very. I just talked. We just had like a normal conversation about like her kids and. It was just cool. It's just cool to meet like the greats across the board from now to back in the day. I mean, they're all here. Like they're just walking around the hotel lobby. Like it's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's been awesome. Oh yeah, that's right. Jonesy. Yeah. Jonesy gave me a hug and sent me a text. Yeah. So I mean, he has a group in Boulder.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he's quite the legend. So it's great to get advice from those kind of people.
Did you? What was your conversation with Spike Lee, if anything?
I just told him. He asked me where I was from, and I told him I was from Boulder, Colorado.
What do you say about that?
He just kind of like nodded, and then my coach was like, "Can we get a picture?" So yeah, that was pretty. It's pretty basic conversation, but it was still really cool to meet him.
Yeah, totally.
How did Monarch do?
They did. They had it yesterday. Isaac Green, he's a junior. He won individual. He took the men's title, and then both my teams were sixth. So not bad. It wasn't a great day for us, but it was a solid day. We've had some injuries this year, but my kids still showed up and ran well. So we're gonna go down to Nike, the Southwest Regionals in November. So hopefully we can put together another performance down there. Yeah, all my girls texted me yesterday wishing me good luck. CU won Pac-12 championships, men and women, this year in Washington on Friday. So that's always fun for me they have two very, very good teams this year, so it'll be really exciting to see what they do in a couple weeks.
How are you going to celebrate?
Okay.
Just hang out with my support crew. My coach is here, my parents are here, my boyfriend's here, my roommate's here. So I had quite the support.
Who's your roommate? Is it like a friend from college? Or?
No, we actually met a year and a half ago. She's from Texas, and she's getting her PhD at CU in political science.
Okay.
So it's kind of just a random meet, but
Yeah.
she's awesome, and she wore a shirt with my face on it today, so that was cool.
Where was she
You see her out
standing?
there?
I didn't see her. She was in Central Park somewhere, I think by my parents. But yeah, my kids made these shirts with
When
my
you say your
face on
kids,
them.
who are you talking about?
Monarch High School, I coach my cross country kids.
Oh, cool.
So they gave me one, and she was like, "I'm totally wearing it," and she was. She's wearing it out there.
Wait, they
so.
came?
No, they
Oh,
didn't.
oh,
But
oh, they
she's
were-
wearing the shirt they made a while
Oh, okay.
back.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so you're just gonna kind of hang
Yeah,
out
just
then.
celebrate with them and just kind of relax.
You've been to
so.
New York before?
Yeah, I've been a couple times.
Is there anything in particular that you like doing here?
I mean, it's just cool to be in the city. Like living in Colorado, it's a very different atmosphere.
Yeah.
Boulder's not quite the city New York is, so it's just cool to be downtown and just kind of soak it all in.
Where are you from originally?
Durango, Colorado. Yeah,
That's
so not
okay.
too. Yeah, still in Colorado. Yeah.
And are you a pro
Great job,
runner?
Dave.
Thank